Friends, our today's topic is on-chip peripherals associated with PIC16F877 microcontroller. So PIC16F877 microcontroller consists of various peripherals which are inbuilt on a controller IC like timers, interrupts, ADC, watchdog timer, IO ports, and some uh, special applications like oscillators, BOR circuit, low power programming circuit, power on reset, etc. So these peripherals are used for various applications and as per the requirement of an user. So we see first that is timers. Here timer is an most important peripheral from the PIC architecture. Here PIC microcontroller supports the three timers, that is timer 0, timer 1 and timer 2, and the bit capacity for each timer is for timer 0 8 bit, for timer 1 16 bit, for timer 2 8 bit. So timer is nothing but simply the counting the clock pulses or binary counter. We can consider as either it will count internal pulses of an controller circuit or external clock pulses applied to the controller circuit, and after reaching to that particular count or number, it will generate an overflow signal, that is timer overflow signal for each timer, as well as it will generate an timer interrupt. If we want to detect as an interrupt, then we need to enable the interrupt. So while studying the timer in case of PIC microcontrollers, another module is associated with timer is prescaler. So the meaning of prescaler is nothing but you have to scale the timer increment count as per the ratio selected by an user with the help of prescaler circuit. So basically prescaler works with dividing the clock pulses by the ratio of 1:1 to 1:256. to 256. So based on that, the timer count is incremented after reaching to that particular ratio which is selected by an user, that is 1:2, 1:4, 1:8, 1:16. So after reaching to that particular level 4, 6, 8 or 18, 4, 6, 4, 8, 16. So after reaching to that count, the timer count will be incremented by 1 only. So in this way, to enhance the delay generation or delay module, a prescaler circuit is used, and in case of timer 2, post scaling circuit is also used to again enhance the delay statistics. So we go one by one, that is we see first timer 0, then 1 and timer 2. So before that, we see the general block diagram of an timer circuit is whether you have selected the internal oscillator clock pulses, which is considered as a internal pulses or internal timer, and if we want to connect external clock pulses, in that case we have to select the external clock pulse, and here clock select signal decides whether internal pulse or external pulse is decided. After that, these pulses are applied to the prescaler circuit. So here, as per the ratio and range available for the respective timer, prescaler decides which ratio is selected, and after that increments by 1 by reaching to the prescaler count. After that, whether we want to enable or disable for timing purpose or generation or counting of the events, you should enable the timer. After that, timer count is there, and if reaching to that particular value, it will generate an overflow signal with the interrupt if we enable the timer interrupt. So this is the basic flow of the timer circuit for each and every timer. So some registers are specified in a table below. So for timer 0, 8 bit size is there, and important register is controlling register is option register, and after that another register used where the count is loaded is TMR0, and delay maximum minimum delay is also specified here. After that, timer 1. So timer 1 size is 16 bit. Here important register is T1 con, that is timer 1 control register, and the count loading registers are TMR1H 8 bit register and TMR1L 8 bit register, lower and higher byte. So combinedly it will act as a 16 byte register. After that, timer 2, again its size is 8 bit and its control register is T2 con, that is timer 2 control register, and count holding register is TMR2. So these are the some registers associated with respective timers. So after that we go for the timer 0. So as timer 0 is an 8-bit timer counter, it having some features like 8-bit timer counter, readable as well as writable, that is can edit the values loaded in timer, and it is a 8-bit software programmable prescaler, that is as per requirement of user we can select the prescaling options. Again, internal or external both clock pulses are available or able to work on both clock pulses. Interrupt is also generated after overflow condition is occurred, and source edge selection, that is either rising or falling edge, it is also possible for the external clock. So as we discussed earlier, so registers used for timer 0 are option, timer 0 and intcon. So these option and intcon resistance we have already discussed. So we see the block diagram of an timer 0. So in this block diagram here, two clock sources are there. One is internal, that is CLK0 F oscillator divided by 4, and another one is external clock pulse which is applied at RF4 pin of an controller. So as per the requirement we have to select the clock pulse with the help of TOCS, that is clock source selection MUX 1. So as per the requirement you have to make the TOCS is equal to 0 or 1. So selection of clock pulse is based on or depends on the MUX 1, that is TOCS pin. And here uh, after that, next circuit is related to the selection of watchdog timer or timer related to the MUX 2. So here PSA bit defines that whether we have selected the watchdog timer or timer. So for assigning timer to the circuit, you should make PSA is equal to 0, and for assigning watchdog timer to the circuit, you should make the PSA is equal to 1. So it is depends on the PSA bit status to the MUX 2, MUX 4 as well as MUX 5. So various conditions are there. So at MUX 2, here only watchdog timer or timer is selected. After that, at MUX 3, the prescaler selection ratio is there, that is 1:8 mux is there by selecting the bit status of PS0 to PS2. So 3 bit status is there. So according to that, required or appropriate ratio of prescaler is selected or applied to either timer or watchdog timer. MUX 4 is associated with the circuit, that is with prescaler or without prescaler you should apply the signal to the next circuit. Next is your synchronization circuit. So synchronization is generally required for external clock pulses and it is generally not required for the internal clock pulses. After that, timer 0 register is there, so count is loaded there, and from that if it is overflowed then interrupt is generated by TMR0 IF. So this is the signal flow. Again, in case of MUX 5 here, MUX 5 is generally used for watchdog timer, and if we use watchdog timer, in that case MUX 5 is useful. So we see the first case, that is when here two cases are there while working the timer 0, that is case 1 is related to the PSA is equal to 0 and case 2 is related to the PSA is equal to 1. So we first see the case 1, that is PSA is equal to 0. If we make PSA is equal to 0, in that case prescaler circuit is assigned to the timer 0 circuit. So timer 0 uses the prescaler and watchdog timer is not able to access the prescaler circuit. So we consider that PSA is equal to 0, and for the sake of simplicity here we have given the numbers to the mux, that is mux 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And in case of case 1, if we are using timers, that is PSA is equal to 0, in that case if we select either clock from internal source or from external source, it is decided at mux 1, and after that next signal is applied to the after that is output of mux1 is applied or fed to the mux2 as PSA is equal to 0. So and no signal is connected at mux4 from mux1 as PSA is equal to 0. So from mux1 signals are connected to the mux2. Here again PSA is equal to 0. So signal coming from internal or external clock source, that is output of mux1, is applied to the prescaler circuit, and signal coming from watchdog timer which is not applied to the prescaler circuit. So here automatically timer is selected and watchdog timer is disabled. So after that, in case of prescaler selection circuit, so here you should select the ratio of the prescaler as per the timer requirement or user requirement. So here with the help of PS0, PS1 and PS2, so ratio is selected, and according to that it will generate an incremented signal, output signal, after reaching to the maximum. So signal coming from mux1 is applied to mux2, again output of mux2 is applied to the mux3 for prescaling option, and output of mux3 is forwarded next. And in case of mux5, here again if PSA is equal to 0, so output of mux3 is not connected to the mux5 as an input. So output of mux3 is directly fed or connected to the mux4 as an input. Here at mux4 as PSA is equal to 0, so output coming from mux3 is connected to the synchronization circuit or synchronization cycles. So this output is applied to the next circuit, that is synchronization. After that it is applied to the timer 0. So in this way the working of timer 0 is nothing but it is based on the mux sequence, that is mux 1, 2, 3 and 4. So in this way, so signals is passing 3 and 4 and after this direction. So sequence is 1, 2, 3 and 4 continuously. So here watchdog timer is disabled. So this is related to the case 1. After that we discuss regarding case 2. So here the working of case 1 is there. PSA is equal to 0. So timer 0 is selected. Here some conditions are mentioned, that is mux 1 select the clock source, mux 2 timer watchdog timer, mux 3 prescaler ratio, mux 4 with prescaler without prescaler, like that. And here the one arrow mentioned here graphical, that is mux 1, mux 2, mux 3 and mux 4. So after that we go for the case 2, that is if PSA is equal to 1, WDT is selected. So we go again for the diagram, block diagram. Here if we make PSA is equal to 1, in that case, so all that is related to mux 4, mux 2 and mux 5 all are concerned to the PSA is equal to 1. So whatever the signals are applied at that position, they are connected directly. So we again go with mux 1. Here internal clock pulse or external clock pulse is selected, which is fed to here, but in this case here mux is equal to 1, so clock pulses are not applied to the prescaler circuit with the help of mux 2. So here mux 2 is connected to the watchdog timers input. So watchdog timers input is connected at mux 2 and which is applied to the input to the prescaler circuit. Here in prescaler circuit mux 3 uh, takes an signal from watchdog timer and it will generates an event by matching or reaching to the maximum count with the help of selection ratio. So output of mux 3 is again applied to the mux 5. Here PSA is equal to 1, so mux 5 able to connect with the output provided by mux 3. So again output of mux 5 is connected to the WDT timeout section. So in this case timer signals are disabled and watchdog timer signals are enabled, which are processed. So the signal flow is like that: watchdog timer to mux 2, mux 2 to prescaler circuit and prescaler circuit to mux 5. So this is the sequence, and if we consider the mux number sequence, that is mux 2, mux 3 and mux 5. So this is the sequence. So lower L section is used for watchdog timer and the sequence is 2, 3, 5. So this is the working related to the watchdog timer if we have selected watchdog timer, and sequence is also mux2, mux3 and mux5. Same bits are there. Mux2 timer or watchdog timer is selected, mux3 prescaler ratio selected, mux5 with or without WDT is selected. So this is the working of timer 0. After that we discuss for the timer 1. So let's discuss timer 1. So here timer 1 is similar to the timer 0, but it's enhancing the bit capacity. That is, instead of 8 bit here 16-bit timer counter is used, which means that it consists of two registers, that is 8 byte registers are there. So TMR1L and TMR1H, so lower byte and higher byte registers are there, and maximum counting capacity of timer 1 is 2 raised to 16 as a 16-bit timer counter. So 2 raised to 16 is nothing but 65,536, and if it starts from 0, then it will count from 0 to 65,535. So these much pulses are counted by the timer 1. Some basic features are: it is an 16-bit timer counter, internal external clock source is programmable, 3-bit prescaler is there, and interrupt overflow detection is possible. Clock source, that is timer 1 is used for a clock source by using capture and compare mode, and the number of registers used for timer 1 are T1 con, that is timer 1 control register, TMR1H higher byte and TMR1L lower byte. So these are the registers. So after that we see the first register T1 con, which is not studied earlier. So it is an 8-bit register. Out of that, 2 bits from MSB side are not used or not implemented, considered as 0. After that we take the next 2 bits, that is T1 clock source PS0 and PS1. So these 2 bits are used for selection of prescaler value. Here timer 1 is capable of selecting maximum prescaler ratio is 1:8. So here only 2 bits are sufficient to select the prescaler, that is from 0 1 1:1, 1:2, 1:4 and 1:8. So here total 4 combinations are there for selection of prescaler value, that is up to 1:8. So based on that, only 2 bits are required for generation of these 4 combination, that is 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. So combination is there, and according to that here we select the prescaler value. After that, next bit is T1 oscillator enable, that is timer 1 oscillator enable bit. If it is 1, then in that case oscillator is enabled. If it is 0, oscillator is disabled. Next bit is T1 synchronization, and which is active low signal. There is timer 1 external clock input synchronization control bit. If it is externally connected clock signal, then it is necessary to synchronize the signal, otherwise it is not required. So if it is 0, then synchronize the external clock. As it is a active low signal, then 0 recognize that synchronization, and if it is 1, do not synchronize the external clock signal. After that we see the TMR1 CS, that is timer 1 clock source selection, and last bit is TMR1 on. TMR1 on is nothing but the timer 1 on bit. If it is 1, that is then in that case timer 1 is on or started, otherwise it is disabled. And TMR1 CS is nothing but your clock source selection, internal or external. For 0, it considered as internal clock source from F oscillator, and if it is 1, then external clock source is selected at RC0 pin. So this is related T1 con, that is timer 1 control register. After that we see the block diagram of an timer 1. So here in this block diagram, if we are selecting the clock from either internal or external oscillator with the help of TMR1 CS. So here internal oscillator is connected at here, that is F oscillator divided by 4, that is clock pulse frequency, which is already connected to the controller. And if we want to connect the external clock source, then here we want need to connect at RC0 and RC1 our clock source is external clock source. So here clock source is selected at TMR1 CS. So after selecting the clock, here whatever clock is selected, either internal or external, we need to apply to the prescaler circuit. So here prescaling option is maximum, that is 1:8. So 1:1, 1:2, 1:4 and 1:8. So all four combinations are there. So based on that, here we need to connect the selection bits, that is T1 clock PS0 and T1 clock PS1. So based on that combination 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1, prescaler ratio is selected and output of that is connected or fed to the synchronization circuit here, or directly applied to the timers register, that is without synchronization. If we connect the prescaler output directly to the T1 synchronization bar, in that case we consider that synchronization is not required, and if we require synchronization, then we should apply the output of prescaler to the synchronization circuit, and after that the signal is applied to the T1 synchronous mux. So based on that, here output is selected and that output is again connected to the next logic circuit, that is AND gate. Here timer 1 control bit is there, which decides the timer starts or not. So if we make TMR1 on bit is equal to 1, in that case only your signals are applied or pulses are applied to the timer registers, that is TMR1H and TMR1L. So the sequence is like this: selection of clock source, external, internal, after that applied to the clock prescaler circuit. After selection of bits from selection bits of prescaler, then applied for either synchronization or without synchronization, like this. And after that, by turning on the TMR1 on bit, we are able to apply the signals at TMR1H and TMR1L. So here, after reaching to the maximum count from both registers, it will generate an timer interrupt signal. So this is the working of timer 1. So here again mentioned some points related to the timer 1 working. First you should make the TMR1 on bit 1, that is set. After selection of that, you should select the internal or external clock source is used. After that, you decide whether the synchronization is required or not for the basically external clock source. And after that, you should select the prescaler circuits, that is prescaler ratio, whether you want 1:2, 1:4 or 1:8. After that, the clock pulses are applied to the prescaler, and then output of prescaler is connected to the synchronization circuit, and then overflow flag or condition is detected. So this is related to the working of an timer 1 module. After that, we go for the timer 2, that is last timer from the PIC16F is timer 2. Here timer 2 is also similar to the timer 0. It consists of 8-bit timer counter, programmable prescaler and postscaler circuit is also available. So here additional feature of timer 2 is it consists of postscaler also, and that too up to the 1:1 to 1:16. So for that purpose it requires 4 selection bits for selection of 16 combinations. The registers used for timer 2 are T2 con, TMR2, PIE1, PIR1 register. Some bits are used from PIE and PIR registers. So important register or key register is T2 con, that is timer 2 control register. In this register, MSB higher bit is not used. After that, from MSB side, remaining 4 bits are used for selection of post scaling combinations, that is 1:1 to 1:4. So all 4 bits are used, that is T out PS0 to T out PS3. So all these 4 combinations are used to select the post scaling options for the timer 2. After that, TMR2 on, that is timer 2 need to be on with the help of TMR2 on bit. If it is 1, then and then only we are able to count the pulses with the help of timer 2. And after that, last two, that is from LSB side, first 2 bits are bit 0 and bit 1 are used for selection of prescaler combinations, that is timer 2 clock source, prescaler 0 and prescaler 1, PS0, PS1. So these 4 are used for post scaling. After the timer to on or off by making 1 and 0, and timer to prescaler circuit 1:1, 1:4 and 1:16. So after making 0 0 and 0 1, whatever the next two combinations are there, that is 1 0 or 1 1, they are able to detect that combination as a 1:16 prescaler. So this is related to the T2 con register. After that we see the block diagram of an timer 2. So here timer 2 consists of pre-scaling option as well as post-scaling option. So it is important to study. So generally for PWM purpose, timer 2 is used for detection of on time and off time also, that is duty cycle and timeout cycle. So whatever the signal is there from f oscillator divided by 4, so this signal is applied initially to the pre-scaling circuit. So here in pre-scaler the three combinations are there, 1:1, 1:2, oh sorry, 1:4 and 1:16. So only 2 bits are sufficient to detect these three combinations or select these three combinations. So PS0 and PS1, these 2 bits are used for pre-scaling selection option. After that this output of prescaler is applied to the timer 2 register. Timer 2 is a 8-bit register, and from that register whatever the count is there, so it will incremented every time by reaching the prescaler value to the maximum value. So again another register used, that is PR2 register. Here PR2 register is used for loading some initial value or initial count into that, and it is applied to the comparator circuit. So whenever timer 2 count reaches to the count which is already loaded in PR2 register, then and then only comparator generates an high signal, that is output high, that is equal signal, equate signal to the post scalar circuit. So after that if comparator generates an high signal, after that timer is automatically resetted, and again it will start from initial value towards the incrementing direction, and again after reaching to the maximum value or no value which is loaded to with PR2, again it will generate comparator high signal. So in this way the cycle continuously repeats with this timer to comparator equate reset. So this is the repeating cycle, and each time whenever the output is generated by comparator, here by selecting the post scalar ratio, that is T2 out PS0 to T2 out PS3, whatever the combination is there, 1:1, 1:2, 1:4, 16. So based on that each time post scalar value is incremented by 1, and after reaching to its maximum value it will generate an interrupt signal at the upper side, that is TMR to IF is generated after reaching to the post scalar's maximum value. So in this way timer 2 works with the help of pre-scaler as well as post scalar. So while using timer 2, both scaling options are available and both are used as per the need of an user. So here prescaler initially connects or associated with internal pulses or clock pulses, and based on that it will send signal to the timer 2. Timer 2's count continuously incrementing and compares with the count loaded in PR2 register, and after making equal or by uh, setting the value, sorry not setting, by generating the value which is already loaded in PR2 register, comparator generates an high signal, and each and every time if comparator signal is high, timer 2 is resetted, again continues incrementing the count, and for that purpose again each time post scalar is increments by 1, and after reaching to the maximum value it will generates an timer 2 interrupt. So this is the working of an timer 2 register. So here also mention some specific points. Make timer 2 on, after that select F oscillator as per your requirement, after that select the timer 2 ratio, here 1:1, 1:4 and 1:16. So for prescaler that is only three choices are there, 1, 4 and 16, and after that the output of prescaler is connected to the TMR2, then TMR2 is always compared with the value or count loaded in PR2 register, and after that it will generate a signal like this, and here post scaling option is available with all the possible combinations of 4 bits, that is 1:1, 1:2, 1:3, 1:4, 1:5, 6, 7, 8 and up to 16. So here To enhance the delay generation capacity of an timer, this post scaling options is useful. So in this way timer 2 works. So this is regarding the timer 0, timer 1 and timer 2 of an PIC 16F877 microcontroller. So thank you for listening and watching. Thank you.